on your feet. If you've already got someone who's willing to overlook the fact that you just got out of jail and you're looking for a job, and then the first question is, tell me some about your of the skills you learned. I know how to knit sweaters for chickens. You're not going to get that job. You're never going to get that job.
Unless it's a chicken sweater job.
There's no such thing as a... Because they would just buy the chicken sweaters.
You don't know anything
They would have bought the sweaters, not have to get them. I know enough.
Or sweaters, really.
First of all, how about this? If there was like the hounds that in my head, there's a bunch of hounds that go around the prison to make sure people don't escape, and then they bark at them if they escape. If they were cold, they're like hounds, like when you go hunting. If they were cold, Paula Andrew wouldn't say, hey, I've got an idea, let's knit them some sweaters. You know what the person would say? Well, I mean, you could, but we could just buy, they're not that expensive. Go down to the PetSmart across the street and buy one. Because they already exist. So I'm saying
I don't understand why you think the prisoners want to help the guards or the guard dog.
Why would they want to help the chickens?
Because they're their chickens.
Yeah, but they're making them healthy so they can put their
them.
hands in their manure and then go do a farm.
Yeah,
no one likes to farm in prison. You know what they want to do?
You know what's a marketable skill? Farming.
Okay, well then let's focus on the farming.
Yeah, and they've got to keep the chickens warm so that they can get the manure from them. So that they
give
can
it
farm.
a space heater.
It's all part of it. It's all part of it.
Give it a space heater, and if it gets too hot, you've got dinner.
Not how it works. That's kind of how it works.
What we think is the first of its kind in Snohomish County. Lowell Prophet Jr. started a kombucha brewery and tap room in the city of Arlington. It's called Glory Bucha. Kombucha is a fermented tea that's gross. Disgusting. It's alcoholic just a little bit because they have to ferment the tea. It's carbonated, and it tastes like what I think urine would taste like, with a slightly fruity flavor. Like that's what kombucha tea tastes like. And I tried to get into it the way that millennials are getting into it, because this is all being propelled by millennials. They see that it's a healthy alternative to soda. You still got the fizziness of soda, but it's got probiotics in it, or prebiotics, whatever is the gut health stuff. And so they'll drink it. It's got low sugar. It's got no sugar in some of them, because I think you have to list sugar as an ingredient, but it all gets eaten up in the fermentation process. And it's super expensive. And now there's one in Arlington. Now, I love all of my people who live in Arlington, in that whole area. It's Snohomish County, in fact. I love Snohomish County. Probably not a kombucha place. Right? I mean, if you're going to go with kombucha, you would assume it's in a city like Seattle or maybe Bellevue. Maybe.
I think that's so it's pretty trendy right now in particular. I think that's just evidence that this trend is pretty much, I mean, it's growing and it's reaching into the suburbs at this point. I think it's extensive.
Okay, name another kombucha place. This is the first of its kind.
In that area.
Okay, but name another one outside of Snohomish County. Can you name one in King County?
I don't like kombucha, but I mean people that do know where they are.
I've never heard of a kombucha tap room. AJ, have you heard of a kombucha? Right? I've heard of one in Portland. That's the only other one that I've heard of.
Mm.
And so if it isn't this growing trend, why wouldn't you start it in the place where there are more millennials and more of a willingness to try this stuff?
There's two in Seattle that I can see.
What are they called?
Community Kombucha and Mystic Kombucha.
Are those stores? Like storefronts?
This one's a tasting room, Community Kombucha.
I'm not counting Community Kombucha.
It says it's
a YMCA. No, it's not. In the basement of a YMCA. What's the other one?
Mystic Kombucha. Wholesale only tasting room. I don't know.
These are not tap rooms in the same way. I mean, I want Glory Bucha Brewery and Tap Room to work. Like, I want it to be successful. I just fear it's not going to be. If you're in the market for some kombucha, go to 116 East 5th Street in Arlington. The hours are 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Wednesday through Saturday, and 2 to 7 p.m. on Sunday. But they're closed Monday and Tuesday, so you're going to have to go to the Whole Foods. The other thing about kombucha, other than it just not tasting good, it does nothing for your gut health. That's just a lie. I just don't believe it. It's a scam perpetuated by Big Kombucha. Because it's so expensive.
Big Kombucha.
Yeah.
You just said it's barely, you don't even
Big
believe it.
Pharma and Big Kombucha, but there are elements behind it trying to push it.
Who? What, the Illuminati? Who are you worried about?
Masons.
Okay.
Masons love kombucha. Have you ever had kombucha?
Yeah, I've tried it a couple of times. It's not for me, but it's also an acquired taste. I think I might like it, but I tried it more.
But that's not a good sell for adults, right? This whole, because it sounds like for
have you heard of beer?
Like, you know, but
beer
for
doesn't taste
kids,
good.
Yeah, but people, at least it's cool to drink beer. It's not cool to drink kombucha.
It is. You
No,
don't
it's
know
not.
what the kids like. You don't know what the kids think is cool.
Oh, but you do.
Yeah, I'm an actual millennial. You're
I'm on
barely
the outskirts of millennialism. Poor Jacob, after the show, is going to go knit himself a sweater for a chicken while sipping a kombucha. Oh, great. So
I'm gonna walk into the tap.
Come on, kombucha's gross. Say it.
I'm gonna walk into the kombucha tap room with my chicken in its little sweater, and everyone's gonna
With
love
a
it.
little leash on the little chicken, you're going to let it peck its way.
Walk around, just
shop, and then they're going to have to close it down for salmonella. Thanks, Jacob. The Jason Rancho, time to get you work the right way with the right way traffic.
It's been a busy morning on area roadways, but we are starting to clear out just a little bit. Northbound 5 just after Michigan, we had a crash blocking the 2 right lanes and a stall as well. Both have been moved off to the right shoulder. Southbound 5 approaching Marine View Drive. A crash has been moved off to the shoulder in Everett. Eastbound 512, the ramp to Meridian, a crash still blocks the left lane of the exit. Federal Way to Seattle, 60 minutes. Federal Way to Bellevue, 71 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by Tulalip Resort and Casino. Winning has never been so fun or tasty at Tulalip. 2,200 of the newest slots and 7 great restaurants only at Tulalip. Find all the details at tulalipcasino.com. You're listening to AM 770 KTTH.
Join AM 770 KTTH for uninterrupted coverage of President Trump's State of the Union address. Tomorrow night, Todd Herman previews the speech at 3, the President speaks at 6, and post-speech analysis with Jason Rantz the following morning at 6. It's the State of the Union with President Trump.
God bless the United States.
On AM 770 KTTH, conservative talk radio.
I'm Bobby Wagner, honorary team of Beacon Plumbing. We know your home is your most important investment. So when that pipe bursts, when that hot water heater breaks, Beacon will be there. Anytime, any day, anywhere. So stop freaking and call Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical at 1-800-FREAKIN.
The New Year's here, and what better time is there to get started on that new home builder remodeling project you've always wanted? Give You Build It a call and find out how to get the home you really want by taking control of your own home builder remodel. Controlling your own project is what You Build It is all about. And with You Build It, you can save as much as 30% from using a contractor. Call 1-800-YOU-BUILD-IT today for a friendly, free, no-obligation appointment to find out how. Or visit youbuildit.com. You Build It is the best way to build or remodel.
If you're ready to leave some of those old habits behind and start living a new, healthier life, call 3010. At 3010 Weight Loss for Life, it's not just about what you eat, it's about what you practice and how you plan. At 3010, you'll receive personalized coaching, helping you address and change any negative views or habits that you may have, guiding you through each step of the program and holding you accountable. And 3010 makes losing weight delicious. For a new you, it's new year. 3010 in 2018.
You have a website because you want people to visit it. And that's why you should add radio to it.
Join us for Red Hawks basketball on 770 KTTH.
For the very latest developments in medicine, be sure to tune in every Saturday morning at 8 for Leading Edge Medicine with Pete Talbot and featuring Drs. Samara Umat and Todd Killigrew. Keep up to date on the latest developments in science and medicine, all while helping you separate the science from the silly and the facts from the fiction. Leading Edge Medicine is sponsored by Longevity Medical Clinics and Paramount Pharmacy. Saturday mornings at 8, right here on AM 770 KTTH. There's no drain, we can't paint. No toilet, we can't tune up. We'll flush all your plumbing issues down the drain. I'm Bobby Wagner, honorary GM of Beacon Plumbing. Anytime, anywhere, any job. Yes, we can. Stop freaking, call Beacon. 1-800-FREAKIN.
There are hundreds of places you can buy kitchen cabinets, big box stores, mom and pop shops, of course the home shows. And while you may like the cabinets, you likely will not like the price because you're not buying direct from the manufacturer. There's only one major local cabinet manufacturer I recommend where you can buy it direct, saving you all the middleman markup, and that's Valley Line Cabinets. Look at lots of pictures, go to the home show, gather your ideas, but when it comes time to get your bid, call Valley Line Cabinets. They have all the latest designer finishes, the modern conveniences. Valley Line Cabinets won't be at the home show, but for everyone who calls this month, you will get the home show special, upgraded cabinet crown molding, beautiful, runs along the top of your cabinets, providing enhanced style and a custom look. You can have it all. Top line cabinets with great prices direct from Valley Line Cabinets Manufacturing and the confidence of their 10% low price guarantee on comfortably made cabinets. Go to valleylinecabinets.com.
across the gaming floor to a comparable hospitality and experiences that last a lifetime. It's Tulalip Resort Casino. Find all the details at TulalipCasino.com.
Download the KTTH smartphone app powered by the Absolute Return Solutions podcast. Do it now. Send KTTH a text at 98973, 98973. The text KTTH.
Seattle's right choice for conservative talk radio. AM 770 KTTH Seattle and 94.5 FM K233BU Seattle.
He's getting ready to tell us the state of our union. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump spent the weekend preparing it, and he's doing run-throughs before tomorrow night. The address expected to focus on jobs and a strong economy, infrastructure, trade, national security, and immigration.
The president is going to pressure Democrats to cut a deal on DACA. The wall will be front and center in that negotiation, according to White House officials. The president wants $25 billion in total for border security, $20 billion of which will be dedicated to build the wall. In exchange, the president is offering a 10 to 12-year path to citizenship for 1.8 million so-called dreamers.
Fox's John Roberts at the White House. 7 Democrats will boycott tomorrow night's State of the Union. Congressman Gregory Meeks tells MSNBC,
I cannot give this man who does not respect me the respect to be in that audience. I will not be there.
House Republicans are considering doing something President Trump supports, but the Justice Department does not. Making public a memo detailing allegations of abuse and power involving government surveillance on a Trump campaign aide.
Based on our reporting, the Trump dossier was used along with other data to secure a surveillance warrant for Carter Page, a one-time foreign policy advisor to the Trump campaign. The New York Times takes it further this morning with reporting that the Page FISA warrant was renewed in mid-2017 by Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, who took over supervision of the Russia probe after his boss, Attorney General Jeff Sessions, recused himself.
Fox's Catherine Herridge also reports FBI Director Christopher Wray is reviewing the House GOP memo. Democrats say Republicans would be reckless releasing such information. We haven't seen this very often lately. This selling on Wall Street, the Dow down 123 points. A fire captain in Costa Mesa, California, calls it a complete miracle. But a small plane landed on a freeway last night and didn't hit any cars or cause any accidents. Traffic was light. The pilot says he saw an opening and went for it after the engine died on their flight from San Diego to Orange County. Fox News, fair and balanced.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
From the Online Trading Academy studio, this is AM 770 KTTH.
This hour of the Jason Ranch Show is brought to you by Farah.com.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the only morning show you need to get you through your commute, get you ready for the day, get you set up for the week to come. You are listening to the Jason Ranch Show on AM 770 KTTH and on the KTTH smartphone app. Got a lot to get to, only 1 hour left to do it. Hillary Clinton helped to shield what looks like a serial harasser from punishment. Mayor Jenny Durkin is still spinning after the election of Donald Trump, and the employee behind the fake Hawaiian missile claim, the dude is refusing to cooperate with the investigation. We're going to get into that when we come back, but first it's time to get your work the right way with Right Way Traffic, brought to you by the Online Trading Academy.
In Renton, northbound 405 as you approach 169, we have a crash blocking your right lane. Stop and go traffic right now from the Valley Highway. Northbound 5 at Michigan, we had a crash blocking the 2 right lanes and a stall as well. 2 separate incidents have been moved off to the right shoulder. Southbound 5 as you approach Marine View Drive in Everett, a crash has been moved off to the left shoulder there. Eastbound 512, the ramp to Meridian, watch for a crash blocking the left lane of the exit. Right now, in terms of travel times, Everett to Bellevue, 74 minutes. Everett to Seattle, 80 minutes right now. You're listening to AM 770 KTTH.
Attend a free online trading academy workshop. Text the word backup to the number 57682 and register for ongoing Bellevue workshops and the Tacoma workshop Wednesday, February 7th at the Washington State History Museum. There's a lot of news happening all around the world, and right here at home it's time to find out what's trending.
What's trending? Big picture.
Hillary Clinton is a hypocrite. Hillary Clinton doesn't care about women the way that she claims. She doesn't care about women the way that activists claim she cares. She is someone who has repeatedly gone after the victims of sexual harassment or abuse. She's done it with her husband, Bill Clinton, and now it turns out she is even doing it on behalf of some of her own campaign staffers, because Vern Strider, the faith advisor of all people, the faith advisor to her 2008 campaign for president, was found to have been sexually harassing a younger subordinate by the name of Jess O'Connell. He was harassing this woman. He was harassing her repeatedly. They shared the same office. There's apparently some sort of email evidence to suggest that what he did was harassment to the tune of wanting, according to Patty Solis Doyle, the campaign manager at the time, wanting him to be fired over it. So she presents all of these details to Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton says, no, we're not going to fire Vern Strider. Presumably she saw something out of him that helped benefit her campaign, helped benefit her career. And so she decided to protect him. Not only does she protect him, but she moves the victim in all of this, she moved her to a different position. Now, cut to over the weekend when this story broke, thanks to the New York Times, Hillary Clinton is pretending that the story didn't actually happen the way that it is portrayed in the Times, and that this is really all about women empowerment. In a tweet, Hillary Clinton said, a story appeared today about something that happened in 2008. I was dismayed when it occurred, but was heartened. The young woman came forward, was heard, and had her concerns taken seriously and addressed. I called her today to tell her how proud I am of her and to make sure she knows what all women should. We deserve to be heard. So, you heard her complain, but you protected the abuser. I'm not entirely sure that that's what it means to be heard. Like, part of it is, yes, being literally listened to. But then shouldn't the second part be to act upon the information you have? Like, right? Doesn't that seem like the right thing to do, the moral thing to do, the just thing to do? Isn't that really what this Me Too movement is about? That's simply saying, yeah, I've also been a victim of some sort of sexual misconduct. But now it's time for that to be over, that we should maybe do something with it. Hillary Clinton, who will portray how strong of a feminist she is, she speaks for women of all kinds, and yet when it impacts her directly, she takes the side of the abuser. And she did it with Vern Strider, who then would go on to work for a pro-Clinton advocacy group, in which he was then later fired for sexually harassing a younger female aide. So this is someone who's arguably a serial harasser that has been given cover thanks to the Clinton apparatus, because the Clinton apparatus, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, the Clinton team, they like to reward people who are loyal to them. It doesn't matter if they're bad people. It does not matter if they are abusers. It just matters that they are loyal to Hillary and Bill Clinton, because all they care about is amassing more power, more wealth, more fame. That's what they're about. All this other stuff is just lip service to movement. Now, it seems like she's getting more and more desperate, Hillary Clinton. She's been out of the limelight a little bit. She does her best to get back in there as much as humanly possible. She hates the fact that she lost the election to President Trump. I understand why she's upset about that. Anyone would be. Trump would be upset if he lost Hillary Clinton. But last night she was on with the Grammys and she read a portion of Fire and Fury, and it was ha 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 funny. But then there was a video posted on Twitter. This one is a little bit weird to me, particularly because it was presented without any context. Now there's since been some context, but an activist went up to her with a video camera. It looked she was getting dinner somewhere, and asked her to repeat a phrase of support for one particular group.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to say thanks. Thanks for your feminism, for your activism, and all I
placate the millennial base of viewers that are somehow liking what Stephen Colbert is doing, because Stephen Colbert's ratings have been doing relatively well, certainly in the context of where they were. And he's certainly taken a very hard-line approach to politics, and specifically being anti-Trump. So Jimmy Kimmel all of a sudden is doing the same thing. He will have porn star Stormy Daniels on the show. Now, Stormy Daniels is a porn star who apparently told her friend that she had an affair with Donald Trump shortly after the birth of Barron Trump to Melania. So Melania just gives birth, and then all of a sudden, Stormy Daniels says she hooked up with Donald Trump. So this was before the campaign. This was before him being president. It was a very, very, very long time ago. And the friend apparently spoke out. There were rumors that this was going to break, that the story was going to break during the waning months of the election. So it is alleged that the Trump team paid Stormy Daniels to keep quiet. Not necessarily because they knew what she said to be true, but it doesn't matter. If that story gets out there, you take attention away from the presidency and the candidacy, and then all of a sudden you are put at an even bigger disadvantage that you were beforehand. Because remember, this was at a time where not only did no one think he was going to win, but the media was going after him on a regular basis because they knew he wasn't going to win. And so they didn't need to deal with that, so they paid her to keep quiet. She does an interview with Inside Edition last week in which she literally said nothing when asked multiple times, details about this alleged affair, except she did speak to one particular question.
If you could make all of this scandal, this talk, stop like this, would you do that?
Yes.
Do you think it's going to happen?
Do you have a magic wand? Because I don't.
If she wishes it would stop, why does she keep doing interviews about it? Doesn't that seem kind of weird? Is it because she's milking the publicity? Is it because she's getting more downloads of her porn movies every single time that she's on TV and people are talking about Stormy Daniels? Is that why? Does she really wish it would go away? Find out what else is trending.
What's trending? National.
Marco Rubio, Senator Rubio, over the weekend announced that he fired his chief of staff, Clint Reed, for quote-unquote improper conduct with a subordinate. Now this is how you know it's serious. He traveled from to Florida, from Florida to DC to fire Clint Reed in person. Now they're being a little bit tight-lipped about what the specific details were. I wish they weren't. In fact, if I was Clint Reed, I wish they would just say what happened. Because when you say that it's so bad they're not going to talk about it, don't you automatically go to the worst of the worst of the worst, even though that's not fair and there's no evidence to suggest the worst of the worst of whatever that means in your head? But did you automatically assume that? Yeah. Right? So we're not going to talk about anything beyond it was simply improper. Well, improper. That's pretty bad. It means so many things, right? Improper. I called you a dope. That's improper. But that's different from like a sexual assault. And yet when you say improper conduct to the point where you're firing someone in a Me Too movement, a post-Me Too movement world, I assume the absolute worst. So I don't know what Clint Reed did, but it's probably the worst of the worst. And so they end up firing him, which is a lot different than the way Hillary Clinton decided to deal with her staff member accused of improper conduct in the form of sexually harassing the subordinate. So again, I'm assuming that this is sexual misconduct. I don't know if that's fair, but it does involve the subordinate. But he did the right thing. When he found out, he did an immediate investigation. Then he found out pretty clearly that his chief of staff was up to no good. Now, I wonder if some of this
in the approach, we need an evangelist in Washington, D.C. to explain this to Americans.
On AM 770 KTTH.
Have you noticed a lot more men smiling around town? Universal Men's Clinic is treating thousands of patients. That's thousands of happy men who have a greater zest for life. If you don't have the energy, stamina, or strength like you used to, or having problems in the bedroom, you could be our next happy patient. Call us at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit universalmen'sclinic.com. A $199 office visit may get you smiling too.
I'm Charles Arakaki, a doctor at the Universal Men's Clinic and the Happy Patient. I was feeling old and I thought it was my demanding lifestyle. I started feeling loss of energy and stamina. Having treated thousands of patients with low energy and sex drive and seeing them improve, it hit me. My symptoms were similar to my patients. With the modern medicine at Universal Men's Clinic, I'm now enjoying a renewed quality of life.
Call us at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit universalmen'sclinic.com.
According to the Employee Benefit Research Institute,
That information and just keeps on going on the path it was on. So it'll slow down if the car in front of you slows down, but if that car moves out the way and there's suddenly a stationary object there, the chances are your system won't actually perceive it and brake the car properly. And this is something the manufacturers know about, they acknowledge it, it's in the owner's manual, I found it in the Tesla owner's manual, I found it in the Volvo owner's manual, they have a similar system. So it's just a limitation that perhaps people aren't really aware of.
Okay, I had never heard of this, because that essentially means that in order to filter out the noise, they have to filter out everything perfectly stationary, assuming it's off to the side of the road. But if you're telling me the radar doesn't detect that you're about to crash with something directly in front of you, that seems to me like a fatal flaw.
Yeah, and it's really kind of highlights just how far we have to go before cars can be fully autonomous. It's showing up a limitation in the way that a car's computer system can build up a picture of the environment from sensor information and use that to make safe decisions. In this case, it's constantly having to make a compromise. If you imagine something like adaptive cruise control, systems that keep you a fixed distance from the car in front, the basis of things like Congress.
I saw a political landscape that was getting more and more divided, and I didn't see a lot of people in government who looked like me.
At the age of 38, Natalia Rudiak is a political veteran, having come off of 8 years on Pittsburgh City Council. And though she achieved a lot,
throughout the years, I have felt patronized. I felt like I was just seen as a little girl.
But now, Sweener says the Me Too and women's movements have arrived just in time for the 2018 election.
We've actually captured the public imagination, and folks are paying attention.
Lindsey Brown calls herself a progressive Republican and knows she's still an outlier in the conservative world.
I've been trying to gently convince them that the future of the party it's at stake right now.
But Rudiak says don't lay the resistance all on Republicans.
The Democratic Party isn't necessarily any better than the Republican Party at letting women lead and having female leaders.
Brown says for women in politics, the struggle certainly isn't over. Nevertheless, she says they're persisting.
Persistence is the only way that we've gotten to where we are, and it's the only way we're going to keep progressing.
See, this is Bill Rakoff. It is X23. Real-time traffic is brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. And here's Chris Sullivan.
And again, we continue to turn the corner with our travel times coming down. Where that's not happening is on the lake bridges, at least on the 520 bridge. It's up to 35 minutes now from Bellevue to Seattle. You hit the brakes before Medina and you're on them all the way over to I-5. So that's about a 15-minute delay over what you should expect. 35 minutes also on I-90, but it's certainly a little bit closer to normal there. The slowing on I-90 westbound begins as you head up the hill towards Eastgate, and it's pretty slow down the hill towards 405. The reason we've got some slowing there that's unusual is because it looks like the right two lanes are blocked now on southbound 405 right before I-90 pulling out of Bellevue, so something to keep an eye on there. Northbound 405 still seeing a lot of heavy slowing. 50 minutes from Renton to Bellevue now is a little bit slower than I would like it to be at this time. We've certainly improved up in the Arlington area down and through Everett. It's running 25 minutes now. It's only about a 10-minute delay after a long-term crash we had there down the Flatlands is down south of the lumber mill. Then Everett to Seattle, Everett to Bellevue, about an hour and 5 or an hour and 10 minutes. Better way to Seattle's come back down to 45 minutes, so that's really good news there for those of you that have been stuck in the long-term slowing there. Y'all up to Renton, also about 45 minutes. And
at Tacoma. Still some slowing here and there, especially northbound getting up past the Dome and up towards the Gulf River Bridge construction zone. This report brought to you by Subaru of Gallup. Traffic stressful, one thing that's stress-free. Buying a car at Subaru of Gallup, read the reviews, you'll see why. Subaru of Gallup's your stress-free dealership.
Tacoma getting the bulk of the rain at this point. Right now it is 47 still. Our Subaru studio at 53 this afternoon. And coming up, former independent counsel Ken Starr, suddenly very popular again, is his thoughts on the Russia probe. Coming up on Cairo Radio.
Finally, the Dory Monson Show.
23 years I've been doing this. Apparently, we're starting to get through to some of these people down in Olympia. There's a hearing, and they have the head of the State Human Rights Commission on. Here's what she says as proof that she can be trusted to be fair.
I listen to Dory Monson so that I can have a balance in the way in which I look at how we do things in our state.
There I am, bringing some balance into this crazy state of ours.
Dory Monson today at noon on Cairo Radio 97.3 FM.
We're looking forward to a summer trip to Scandinavia, land of the midnight sun. And you can look forward to one too just by calling the travel store at 800-777-6540. What I'm talking
And I think what you'll see if that happens is a lot of discretion on the part of the police. This bill is not, and there is a fine. It's a civil infraction with a fine up to $500. But the point is not to get $500. The point is to really begin to educate people in as gentle a way as we can. In other words, you could put a plaque up in your business that says, it's a civil infraction to misrepresent your dog as a service dog. That by itself is also a good thing. But we need to start educating the populace that a service dog is not the same as a therapy dog, comfort dog, or your very best friend. And actually, Jason, that's not really well known. People think that service dogs now, that therapy dogs are service dogs.
Yeah, and they're
That
not.
dogs that make us comfortable are because they're providing, we think, a service. And they are, but they are not legally a bona fide service dog that can perform the task.
Yeah, no matter the reason anyone decides to take for supporting this bill is okay with me, because I love the bill. I've been talking with State Representative Joan McBride, a Democrat from Kirkland. Every once in a while, when I can see a conversation with a Democrat going without us yelling at each other, I'm a huge fan of that. So I appreciate you stopping by the show this morning.
I just want you to know that the prime sponsor is a Republican.
Yep.
Representative Steele, we are working together and very collegially on this bill.
Hey, there you go. And both dog lovers, by the way. Again, I've been talking with State Representative Joan McBride. Representative, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. You are listening to the Jason Ranch Show. Time to get your work the right way with right way traffic.
Seattle's own Michael Nick.
The other thing that is a very good bit of economic news for the administration is a poll for the New York Times.
Weekdays noon to 3.
The headline, upbeat on economy, warming to tax law, still not sure about the president. Okay.
On AM 770 KTTH.
This is the basic Democratic strategy right now. They look at the economy. They look at the fact that Americans are better off, and they say, so what do we have to concentrate on? Let's concentrate on the president's personality.
Conservative Talk Radio.
Hey, it's Todd Herman here with Dr. Lee, RDPC. Doctor, your approach to healthcare is